Well, we're joined this morning by Rovers Chairman Steve Hamer. Steve, thank you for agreeing to this interview this morning. Would it be fair to say that this is a summer of expectation for the club? Most summers are, but this one especially after a very good season in League One.
Absolutely spot on. Very much so. And I think after the signing of Liam Sercombe on Tuesday, met with Darrell, and I mean, his enthusiasm and anticipation of next year is exceptional. And I think it's you know, having been with him for several hours, you do get the feel that you know, all of us now can't wait for the start of the next season.
Yeah, Liam Sercombe, probably the first of, well, Darrell said he wanted 10 new players possibly, but the first of arrival, and it's happened very early, hasn't it? Because a lot of transfers, a lot of signings don't take place until June, and there's a very good reason for that.
Yeah, it is. I mean, only 9 to go, because he set a target of 10. But can I say, it's interesting. The market literally runs from sort of, you know, May the 1st until the end of August. And the initial market is a very expensive one. The agents all come in, they feel they've got the best players, or the intermediaries as they're now called. And it's ridiculous what they're asking for. So you need a good few weeks to let things settle down. And we go about our business very diligently, and we're very sensible about it. Darrell has a certain calibre of player that he wants to play for him and for this football club. And we carry out our due diligence properly. And we don't go every day suggesting that we're going to be buying players here, there, everywhere. We've got targets, and I'm pleased to say that the young lad that we signed on Tuesday was #1 target. And you know, we're very pleased we've got him, because there's a certain something about him that I think will complement our existing squad. So you know, first of many to arrive, I hope.
Yeah, interesting that fans get a little bit impatient when they see other clubs signing players and say, well, why aren't Rovers signing anyone? But I'm sure that, as you say, those targets are in sight, and deals are done, agreements are reached without necessarily being able to announce things in public.
Yes, and I think you've got to be sensible. I think many years ago it was club on club, but there are so many other ingredients now when you sign a player. I mean, not only does the intermediary step up to the plate, there's obviously the issues of either family or a partner or wife. They all contribute to the decision. So it's a little bit more involved than it used to be, but I'm very, very confident that we will complete, and Darrell has the ambition to have a squad of 24 and 25 players, and some of the names that we're talking about are exciting as well.
Speaking of Darrell, I know people again say that Darrell, you know, we need to offer him a new contract, or a club needs to offer him a new contract, but I think we should remember that Darrell is under contract for the next 2 years in any case, so no real need to rush into that, is there? No,
he certainly is under contract for a further 2 years, and I'm absolutely sure that we will be talking about extending that in the very near future. He's an integral part of our football club. It's been an interesting 15, 16 months since obviously the takeover. He's had to get to know us, and we've had to get to know him, but in comparison where we were this time last year, it's a very different scenario because obviously he was distracted with a Leeds approach. So it's full steam on, and I think the next 6 or 8 weeks are going to be very involved, and we're going to be. I think the Rovers fans will find that we're doing plenty to build for next season.
Again, many wonder about his budget, and without divulging any details, you had a big budget meeting a couple of weeks ago. Would it be fair to say that he has a competitive budget this season?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think in his own words, he believes it will certainly be a budget, will be a top 6 budget. I think that, and we learnt an awful lot last year in that league. You've got to remember that we've come an awful long way in 2 years. A lot of our players had never played in Division 1, acquitted themselves extremely well, and we ran out of steam a little bit near the end, but I think we'll be, those players that played for us last season will be, you know, it won't be such a new experience for them. I mean, they'll be used to what they're up against, and I think they'll do even better. Darrell prides himself on getting 10-15% improvement out of players year in, year on, and you know, I think we'll see that this year.
Competitive division again, isn't it?
Yes.
Games to look forward to.
Yes, you've got to look at it. You've got to look at, obviously, clubs in the Northwest. I think I worked it out the other day with Blackpool winning that playoff. something like 30% of all our away games will be in Lancashire next season. So hotbed of football. So we'll be playing, in Blackpool, Fleetwood, Blackburn, Bury, Oldham, Rochdale. It's going to be a tough one, but the M6 will be very familiar for our team.
Let's hope they get all the closures out of the way.
I hope you're right. It's not easy coming back midweek from there.
Just coming back a bit closer to home, the pre-season tour of Portugal. I gather there's some news that we will be playing a championship.
We will be playing a championship side. They've asked us to withhold the announcement until they finish their programme. They're playing 2 other games down there, but we'll be playing a championship side. Originally, our preferred date was the 19th of July. But for those who are on holiday out there, it will be played now in Albufeira on the Tuesday, the 18th of July, with an 8 o'clock kickoff. So it'll be a good test, and we will announce who the opposition is as soon as the championship side have confirmed it, but they just asked us to withhold it until they complete their programme.
Okay, and obviously people are going to ask again about the training ground, the stadium. Training ground, first of all, planning application has gone in, I believe.
Pre-planning, yes, we're in the process of that pre-planning application. It does take a bit of time. We knew that, and there's not a great deal we can do. It's in a green belt area. It's in a residential area, so we don't want to be jumping the gun, and we have to be exemplary in our procedures, and that's what we're doing. Like everybody else, we're anxious to get it underway, but we just have to be advised by our advisors as to where we're going, but I think once we get the green light to move, we will move very quickly.
What sort of timescale would you think we will be talking about once it has been approved?
Well, in an ideal world, we've set a programme June the 30th, 2018, when the players report back. And it may not be fully completed, but I visited Sheffield Wednesday the other day, and they're operational, and it wasn't completed. So it's a bit like moving into a new build house. You have to live a little bit sometimes with the builders on site and do your best. But the pitches will be ready, and we'll be, hopefully we'll have a fresh start June the 30th, and then completion maybe a few weeks after that in terms of the building and the structure.
That will be good also for the academy, won't it?
Yeah, it will help everybody.
Because I think the academy are going into a training
Yes, they have to. It'll be good for everybody. I think we need, the one thing this club moving forward needs is to get everybody under one roof. It'll help all the coaches. It will interface with the academy and the first team setup. At the moment, we're all in little pockets all over North Bristol, so it helps everybody. It really does.
Meanwhile, a lot of work is being carried out on the Memorial Stadium this summer,
yes.
prompting some to say, well, why are they spending all that money at the MEM when does that mean that the new ground is dead in the water? So
no, I think in fairness, again, I think even most of our supporters know that Darryl is absolutely a perfectionist, and he wants to give our team no excuses for not playing on a Saturday properly. And one of the excuses that players often throw at you is that the pitch was no good. So our pitch, in fairness, it's come a long way in a short period. You've got to remember it was a rugby ground for many, many moons, and we've had to spend it because the drainage has gone on it. If you're going to fix the drainage, you may as well fix the surface as well. So I think it will. I think it was pretty good at the end of last season, but I think on this occasion, I'm proud to say that our ground staff and those who have helped us, we never lost a game last season to bad weather. So. This season with the new drainage in, and I hope even more optimistic that we'll have a really first-class surface.
The thing that interested me was the levelling of the pitch. It's quite a way out from one end to the other.
It is, and it's fascinating to watch them work. I looked at it yesterday, and it was brown, and people don't realise that Derby County won a Football League Championship in 1971 on the baseball ground when the ground looked like that. It was just rolled mud, and I thought those are the days. Young fans don't realise that football games were played on rolled mud for 2/3 of the season. So very interesting.
That doesn't affect any decision on a new stadium, or does it? The fact that money has been.
No, I'll be very honest about that. We're still on, talking, and negotiations are taking place as we speak now. So until one side or the other says simply we can't do it or we don't want to do it, then. We keep going on, and we're promising that we're trying to achieve it. I think I found out yesterday for the first time that we only have 3,416 seats here. And the way we're going, I mean, that isn't enough to accommodate what the following that we're gathering now. So I think there are practical issues here that you have to look at as well. And we're being left behind in terms of seats at this stadium. So we need to be positive and push forward as best we can.
Is that a concern that you have a successful side, you may get promotion to the Championship? Would you be able to sustain Championship football in this stadium?
Yeah, I think the nearest we come to our situation is Brentford, and they've coped. I mean, their capacity is 11,500. Our capacity is 12,250. However, I think Brentford obviously have more seats than we do. Burton Albion have, acquitted themselves quite well in the Championship, survived, and their capacity is about 6,500, of which I presume or would assume, I've never been there, but I think they've only got about 4,000 seats. So you can do it, but it doesn't help because, Brentford are up against local neighbours in Fulham and Chelsea, so they just about cope with what they've got there. But if they were to go again and find themselves in the Premier League, they would be severely under pressure. But they're building a new stadium, and it's just started, just further down the road. But I think if we get this club going, where I believe the manager believes we're going to be going next season, the interest and the following will just grow and grow and grow. Well,
again, supporters are voting with their checkbooks, aren't they? Or
yes.
Their cards, the season tickets.
Yes,
are
yes,
very good.
yes. Great feel about the club at the moment. Good spirit. And if any of the supporters spent the hour or two I spent with Darryl on Tuesday when we signed Liam Sercombe, I can tell you that the buzz that they would feel now would be exactly what I've got.
You're looking forward to next season?
I really am. I really am. I really am. I don't want to wish my summer away, because I think I enjoy the summer with watching cricket and golf, etc., and other summer pastimes. However, on this occasion, August the 5th can't come soon enough.